I give up. The California housing market just went to the moon, and this is because the California Association of Realtors just released April's housing market numbers this morning, and the stats I'm going to be sharing in today's video are absolutely mind-blowing. I'm very happy for home sellers looking to take advantage of these high home prices in California. And at the same time, I'm beyond frustrated for home buyers looking to buy a house right now. I want to start off today's video by saying that there's a common misconception out there that real estate agents want to see skyrocketing home prices every single month. And that's great if you're looking to only represent sellers. However, about 99% of the agents out there represent buyers and sellers. So while a hot housing market is very good for our seller clients, it's beyond frustrating for the home buyers that we represent. What I personally would like to see is a more balanced real estate market between buyers and sellers where no one has a clear competitive advantage over the other. With that said, I'm very excited to share this California housing market update with you. So today marks my 209th upload onto YouTube, and this is the most mind-blowing housing market report I've shared yet. Before I share April's numbers with you, I want to give you a disclaimer that I've mentioned on the channel several times. In April 2020, our housing market was more or less on hold. Agents weren't allowed to meet with their clients face to face. A lot of home sellers took their houses off the market, and a lot of home buyers put their plans on hold as well. Because of this, when we compare numbers from April 2020 to April 2021, the numbers can be quite skewed. However, in today's video, I'll share stats from prior years as much as possible so you can have a clear understanding about what's going on with our housing market today. With that said, I reported last month that March's home prices in California reached an all-time high of $759,000, and that was the sixth record high since the beginning of 2020. Well, many more records were broken in April, and that's including a brand new all-time record high median home price in California of $813,980. That's up 7.2% from March and up 34% from April 2020. This year-over-year price gain was the highest ever recorded, and it was the first time since June 2013 that the state recorded an annual increase of over 30%. So here's a graphic showing home prices over the last 16 years. So overall, home prices have increased since about 2011, which more or less was the bottom of the market. But home prices have increased greatly, especially since the middle of last year. The number of home sales have greatly increased as well. So April's home sales in California increased on a monthly basis for the third consecutive month, rising 2.6% from March and up a whopping 65% from 1 year ago. On a regional basis, the real estate market in the Bay Area rebounded big time with home sales soaring by triple digits. In addition, all major regions in California experienced an increase of home sales by at least 30% on a year-over-year basis. The Central Valley increased by almost 40%, Southern California surged 65%, and the Central Coast increased by almost 82%. What I found very interesting from this report was how home sales varied greatly by price range. So let me explain. So home sales of less than $300,000 decreased by 34%, but homes that sold for $2 million or more increased by 302%. And here's another mind-blowing stat for you. So more homes sold in California for over $1 million than homes that sold for less than $500,000 in April. This is because out of all the homes that sold in April, only 28% of those were less than $500,000, whereas 31% were over $1 million. On top of this, the share that sold for over $1 million doubled from 2020 to 2021. And the rate of home sales growth of houses $2 million or more continues to accelerate at a faster pace than any other price range. As you can see here, home sales have increased in all other price brackets, but not nearly as fast as houses that sold for over $1 million. The California Association of Realtors' Dave Carr stated the following: California continues to experience one of the hottest housing markets as homes sell at the fastest pace ever, with a share of homes sold above asking price, the price per square foot, and the sales to list price ratio all at record highs, with active listings remain at historic lows. The high demand and shortage of houses for sale, driven by these market factors, continue to drive up home prices and shatter the record high set just last month. Carr Vice President and Chief Economist had a very good quote that I wanted to share with you today. So they said, not only do skyrocketing home prices threaten already low homeownership levels and make it harder for those who don't already have a house to purchase, it also brings into question the sustainability of this market cycle. As vaccination rates increase and the states reopen fully, higher home prices will hopefully entice prospective sellers who have held off putting their houses on the market during this pandemic to feel more comfortable listing their houses for sale, which would help alleviate pressure on home prices. Part of the reason why home prices have been surging is, of course, due to low interest rates. So the average for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged 3.06% in April, and that was down 3.31% in April 2020. The number of active listings in California fell by more than 50% in April from last year. This now marks the fourth straight month that the housing supply was cut by more than half compared to 1 year ago. What a lot of people don't know is that the drop of housing inventory is not just pandemic induced. This is because inventory has been decreasing for the past couple of years. Take a look at the total number of active listings in April this year compared to the past few years. So active listings are the total number of houses available for sale. So in April this year, there were just under 20,000. However, there were over 30,000 last year and over 40,000 in 2018 and 2019. In addition, active listings in 2020, which are those orange bars there, were significantly less than 2019 or 2018 for any single month of the year. Additionally, California's sales price to list price ratio posted a record high in April of 103.3%. That means that homes on average sold for 3.3% above the seller's asking price. That's up from a sales to list price ratio of 100% in April 2020. Here's a very good graphic that I found that shows the change of the sales to list price ratio since 2007. So a ratio of 100% means that houses on average are selling for the asking price. Anything above that means that houses on average are selling for over the asking price. And of course, anything below 100% means that they are selling for less than the list price. So we didn't cross over that 100% mark until late last year, and that was the first time in at least the last 14 years. What I also found astonishing was the fact that 68% of the houses that sold in California in April sold for over the asking price. And here is a crazy stat for you. So in the San Francisco Bay Area, approximately 48% of the houses that sold in April sold by more than $100,000 over the seller's asking price. In other words, almost half of the houses that sold for more than $100,000 over the seller's asking price. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, the average price per square foot in California reached an all-time high. It increased 35% compared to 1 year ago. Yet another record that was broken was days on the market. This is the time period from when a seller lists their house to when they accept an offer from a home buyer. It took only 7 days on average to sell a house in California in April, and that was the lowest on record, and it was about twice as fast as last year. So for comparison's sake, it took over 60 days to sell a house in 2011. On top of this, another record, of course, was broken, and this is pending home sales. So a pending home sale means when a home seller accepts an offer from a home buyer. That reached an all-time high in April in California. So pendings have now surged 83.5% compared to 1 year ago. This should mean that May's housing market stats should be equally impressive to April's. This is because April's pendings are May's closings. If you're still watching this video, then thank you, because that was a lot to cover. So let's just summarize all the records that were broken in April in California. The median home price in California reached an all-time high of $814,000. That's $55,000 more than the previous high that was set in March of this year. The median home price increased by 34% compared to April 2020. That year-over-year price gain is the highest ever recorded. In addition, houses sold the fastest on record, 7 days on average. We also saw the highest share of houses that sold over the asking price. Also, the price per square foot in California also reached an all-time high. And lastly, the sales to list price ratio of 103% was the highest ever recorded. I said this a million times on my channel, but this pace is definitely not normal, but it's anyone's guess when it will slow down. If you enjoyed watching this video, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And also consider subscribing as well. I post videos about how this pandemic is affecting our housing market. You also can follow me on Instagram. I'm Sacramento Realtor. Hope you have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.